What is up, YouTube? Today is day 2 of my trading journey, and today we're going to be looking at and fully understanding fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps. We are going to make sure we reinforce ourselves with the concepts and fully understand what they are and how we can use them. So let's get started. We're going to create a document saying fair value gaps. Okay, let's start simple. What is a fair value gap? So, a fair value gap is a 3 candlestick pattern that shows us an imbalance in price. We're going to have an example to look at in the chart right here. We have one candle here, one candle here, and a candle in the middle. That is a fair value gap. We can see that the wick of the first candle and the wick of the third candle do not overlap or touch each other and create a gap in between that. Hence the name fair value gap. And look at another 3 candlestick pattern right here, and we can see the wick of this candle and the wick of this candle overlap and touch each other, and they do not create a gap within the middle candle. So that is not a fair value gap. How can we use fair value gaps? As you can see, a fair value gap can be used as a retracement tool or a continuation confluence. This is because we have a imbalance in price. Price always wants to come into the fair value gap, fill the fair value gap, and then continue moving up. And that is what we call a respected fair value gap. So a respected fair value gap is when price moves in to fill the imbalance and then continues its trend. We can look for an example right here. If fair value gap is created, price moves in, fills it, and then continues to move out and continue its trend. So this helps us. So this is used to confirm that price is going to continue because the fair value gap got respected. Now we can talk about inverse fair value gaps. A inverse fair value gap is a fair value gap that has been disrespected. Okay, how can we identify an inverse fair value gap? What is an inverse fair value gap and how can we see it on the chart? When a candle body closes outside of the gap, we can confirm that the gap is inversed. Over here, we have a respected fair value gap. Price moves in, and although the wick closes outside of it, the body of the candle does not. So this fair value gap is not disrespected. Now we can look for a inverse fair value gap. Let's go to the 5-minute. So over here is a good example. We have a fair value gap here to the downside, and we have a candle that pushes into the fair value gap and then closes outside of it. This confirms that this fair value gap is invalidated. That means price moved in, disrespected it, and continued to move through it. So again, that is used as a continuation confluence. That price disrespected it and continued to move through it and away from it. So, how can we use this? A inverse fair value gap can be used similar to a break of structure and can confirm that price changed its trend. So we'll look for another example here. We're in a downtrend over here. We create a fair value gap. We have a candle that closes above the fair value gap and invalidates it. And we can confirm that from a downtrend, price has changed trends, and we can confirm here that price is now in a different trend and has reversed its trend. Now we're looking at stacked fair value gaps. Stacked fair value gap is a stack of fair value gaps that can be treated as one big fair value gap. And we're going to look at a example on the 5 minute. We'll look right here. We have a fair value gap here. We have a fair value gap here. So we have two fair value gaps stacked on top of each other. Price creates the fair value gap, moves in, and invalidates this one. But because we have another fair value gap up here, we can't confirm that it has been invalidated and that price is going to move up. We need to wait for this fair value gap to be invalidated, and then we can say that price is going to change direction and continue in this direction. So this fair value gap pretty much becomes useless, and we can drag this down to create one big fair value gap that engulfs both fair value gaps. So price creates the fair value gap, moves up, invalidates the fair value gap, and then continues higher. We can even sort of use this fair value gap here and drag our fair value gap up to create this one. So price comes in, invalidates the fair value gap, and continues higher. Price must invalidate all fair value gaps in order for us to use it as a confluence. So as we saw there, where was it? I have lost it. Okay, over here we have a bunch of fair value gaps. We have one here. We have a small one here. We have another one here. We have one here. And as you can see, we have a bunch of stacked fair value gaps. Price creates the fair value gaps, invalidates this one, and we cannot confirm that price is going to continue to move down yet because of the other fair value gaps. We come in, we invalidate this one, we still cannot confirm because we have these two. Price comes in, respects this fair value gap, and then continues to sort of go up. And like I said, we can link all these fair value gaps to simply create one big one. So we can delete all of these. and we can just create one big fair value gap. So price creates the fair value gap, comes in, respects it, and does not continue in its downtrend and continues doing whatever it does. It's Asian session, so it just consolidates, but this cannot be used as a invalidation because big fair value gap gets respected. That's all we have for fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps. I will be taking screenshots with my drawings on here and putting them underneath each title to make it more clear for you guys to understand, and this doc will be posted in the description for you to download for free so you can use this as notes and practice. That is what we've learned in today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.